Hi guys, I am Pearl the Anthropologist, and I am here to share field observation notes number 2 with you. The date of today's recording is June 25th, 2026, and location is still somewhere within the stars. Yeah. Every civilization has people who define its direction. Kings, generals, philosophers, and merchants. Every so often, history produces someone capable of redirecting entire industries at once. Today's observation concerns one such archetype, the inventor. Our current example is Elon Musk. He is not unique in history, but he is the current actor occupying a role that has appeared many times before. The names change, but the pattern remains. Anthropologically, the inventor is not merely someone who creates technology. They change the direction of civilization by reallocating attention, capital, engineering talent, political focus, and public imagination. What happens when one person becomes capable of accelerating multiple systems simultaneously? Every age develops a dominant technology. Fire, iron, steam, electricity, the combustion engine, the internet, or artificial intelligence. The inventor sees the next horizon before most people recognize it exists. This vision is extraordinarily valuable, and civilizations require people willing to move into unknown territory to avoid stagnation. However, every gift creates responsibility. Acceleration creates consequences, as every invention reshapes the human environment, sometimes in ways the inventor never intended. No inventor changes civilization alone. Ideas require capital, networks, institutions, and political influence. This introduces a second archetype, the strategist. Peter Thiel represents a contemporary example of this role. Strategists identify emerging systems, position themselves within them, and help determine which futures receive support. Throughout history, these figures, bankers, advisors, financiers, political architects, have rarely stood at the center of public attention. Yet they often determine which ideas survive. Around every major technological movement, additional archetypes emerge. The influencer, who amplifies the narrative, the opportunist, who attaches to momentum. This is accompanied by expanding media ecosystems, forming communities, and appearing financial incentives. This process is not unique to the digital age. It occurred during the eras of railroads, electricity, automobiles, and television. Anthropologically, this is normal. What matters is not that the ecosystem exists, but the values it rewards. History rarely asks whether a civilization possessed intelligence. Most civilizations were intelligent. History asked whether wisdom kept pace with capability, governance kept pace with innovation, responsibility kept pace with power. Acceleration is merely movement. It is not civilization. The deeper questions remain. Toward what? Toward whose benefit? At what cost? As technological power expands, these questions become increasingly important. Perhaps the defining observation of our age is that humanity is approaching a point where capability is expanding faster than our collective conversation about stewardship. Anthropologists study patterns. The names, faces, and technologies change, but the patterns remain. The pattern observed here is not a story about one billionaire. It is a story about acceleration. A civilization that can generate extraordinary momentum, but cannot decide where that momentum should lead, has solved only half of the problem. This is Pearl the Anthropologist. Thank you for watching and listening.
The house went quiet first, and the rings in the dish. Your chair by the window, still waiting like a wish. I rocked the porch alone in the dark after rain, and the years we were planting kept calling your name. Ladies, have you ever tried to save a man who mistook sinking for swimming? While he sat and watched them fade. Funny how a heart grows weary, pulling dead weight every day. A love written in the stars still needs two souls moving forward. And darling, you cannot dance with someone who refuses to stand. And he became a boulder around my spirit, chains around my high-heeled shoes. I kept pouring warmth into the winter, but he kept singing lonely blues. Now the smoke curls soft around me, and the trumpet cries so low. Funny how some people drown themselves inside a knee-high ocean. We called it a garden, like Eden in our hands. Love was the seed in the dirt, stewardship was the plan. We pulled at the weeds slow, we mended every fence, but grief got in the rafters and weariness set in. I watched the vines go thin, the apples never came. The children saw the corners where the sunlight changed. I held the watering can, I kept the gate shut tight, but one soul cannot tend what two are meant to find. You've done enough, my child. You've done enough, my child. Lay down that wheel tonight. Let mercy take the field. You've done enough, my child. You've done enough, my child. God leads the wounded home to safer, greener hills. Then he came like a granddaddy, boots muddy, eyes kind, dust on his cuffs and patience in his hands. He looked at the dead vines at the sagging gate and said, child, you've been faithful more than most can take. You don't have to bleed here to prove you loved. Give me the broken orchard, give me what is left. my own heart glowing gold, and the stars untied the chains between us before they buried my soul. Now the rain has passed us, and the air is clean. A rainbow cuts the sunset through the oak tree leaves. The children run out laughing past the mended wire. In a field he keeps watch over beyond the last barbed wire.